Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, The Secret to Scaling Your Business, Leveraging Project Templates. I'm Kim Wolf, Director of Marketing here at Redbooth. And in today's webinar, I'm going to discuss how you can scale your business through the use of project templates. If you're looking to grow your business, great project and process management practices aren't just nice to have, they're essential. So the webinar will run about 30 minutes and we'll leave time at the end for your questions. If you have questions at any time, feel free to type them into the GoToWebinar panel and we'll answer them during the Q&A session. And this session is being recorded, so don't worry if you missed something or if you want to share this with your colleagues later, because you'll receive a recording of the webinar after the event. So scalability is one of the most important factors that can help take your current business to the next level. You want a scalable business model that can help increase your profits over time while obviously avoiding cost increases. And the three things you want to think about to successfully scale your business are growing revenue. So not surprisingly, this is at the top of most companies' lists. You want to think about consistency in your product or service. So continuing to consistently deliver the quality that your customers want, even if you have a sudden influx of new business. And finally, you want to have efficient systems. It's key to have systems and processes in place that allow you to be efficient. And lots of businesses accomplish this through automation or technology. And the secret to becoming scalable is by using templates for your work. So templates help systematize day-to-day and other repetitive processes, which result in big savings of time and effort. By using templates, you can recreate successful internal processes, and you can also capture and leverage team knowledge and prevent miscommunications. Here, for example, we use project templates constantly because they help us launch new projects quickly, they help us track how our work is progressing, and we know who owns the work every step of the way. And you can create your own templates for your business, or you can also use ready-made ones. At Redbooth, we teamed up with industry experts to create project templates for our customers. And these were all inspired by real-world business examples in multiple industries. So whether you need to design a new web page, or if you need to track a project status, or even onboard a new employee, these Redbooth templates can help you get started easily. And you can access these for free on our website at redbooth.com/templates. So now let's take a closer look at how using project templates can help your business scale. So oftentimes we waste a great deal of time or effort in creating something that already exists. Have you ever been faced with this situation? You and your team are bogged down with the daily tasks, busy keeping your heads down and just trying to get things done. So sometimes it's hard to take a step back to think about process, which means you're constantly reinventing the wheel. And as a first step, I recommend assessing what's working for your business and duplicating that. You want to capture best practices and leverage those across your business. You also want to make it easy for anyone in your company to recreate this process. For example, here's a template that we've created here at Redbooth for welcoming a new employee to your company. So often, there are a lot of little details involved in onboarding that can sometimes slip through the cracks. So with a template, you know exactly what needs to be done each time a new person joins. And as you can see here, everything is organized step by step. So you can assign tasks to specific people, set deadlines, and check things off as they're completed. And you don't need to worry about copying any of this down. So this is, again, a free template located in the template library that I mentioned earlier. And at the end of the webinar, I will be providing the link again. Now, if you're a Redbooth user already, you even have the ability to create your own task list templates for smaller scale processes. So here I've included a screenshot of a template I've created for the monthly newsletter that I send out to customers. So with all the multitasking that I do, jumping around, doing many things in a day, this helps me tackle things methodically without worrying if I've forgotten a key step. And it keeps me on track. Now, there's a ton of untapped information within an organization. Think about the collective knowledge of your employees, especially those who've been there a while, the veteran employees that you have. What if one of them left suddenly, quit or for some reason left the company? I'm guessing there would be a bit of a scramble to hand over their workload. And in this situation, templates help make key information available to the rest of your team. So they're going to help you turn that team knowledge into an asset. That internal knowledge can be shared across the organization, and critical data isn't lost if somebody leaves. Other team members could even pick up where the other person left off because they would know what comes next. That way you could finish up projects or even start new ones while waiting to fill that position. Everyone always talks about improving efficiency and accountability. Those are big buzzwords. But when you talk about the everyday work that you and your colleagues are doing, what is the thing that really makes the difference? When it comes to processes and workflows, sometimes people's eyes start to glaze over. And I'm not talking about rigid processes that don't make sense in the real world. For your business to scale, you should have important processes defined so that, people aren't scratching their heads about what comes next. When you create a workflow, you define a series of tasks. You're going to define who owns those tasks, and you set deadlines. So that way you can actually work more efficiently and hold someone accountable. And of course, templates make it easy for you to dive right in. So, like this dog, we probably all have been there. Sometimes it's just hard to get started on a project. Maybe it seems too complicated or overwhelming, or maybe there are too many moving parts and you can't get motivated. So once you have templates set up, you don't have to start from scratch, and you're already several steps ahead of the game. The planning and organizing part is already done, so you can just jump in and get started instead of procrastinating. Finally, if you want to grow your business, your focus on scalability is how you're going to accomplish those goals. Let's say you're the boss and you want to focus your efforts on signing new clients because that's what's going to bring in the money. So you hire a few new people to help you handle daily operations, and you want to get them up to speed quickly and minimize miscommunications. How are you going to be able to scale if you have a team that's confused or requiring you to jump in, explaining how to do things over and over again? If you're still involved in the regular operations instead of focusing on getting the valuable new business, you're pretty much wasting your time. So you can either have lots of confusing conversations about how to do something, or you can put it in a crystal clear format and just let your new employees follow it. So templates don't just make this possible, they make it easy. So I'll show you how you can put templates to work for you. In this case, I'm going to go back to the Redbooth templates page to access one, and I'll be ready to go. Let's say in this case, I'm a design agency and I want to create a new website for a client. I'll choose the web design template and create a workspace. Once I click create, this template is automatically created inside of my Redbooth environment. So as you can see, I've got all the tasks I need in order to get started on this project. And I can use this template every time a new client wants a website designed. And of course, all these templates are customizable. So you can add or edit tasks. You can change the order to suit the project. So here, I want to rename a task so that it has the client's name, and I'll assign an owner, in this case myself, instead of due date. So a template like this is structured enough to clearly outline the process, but flexible enough to modify it as needed. So let's recap what we've discussed today and how templates can help your business become scalable and save you time and money. So first, Again, you want to capture best practices and duplicate them instead of reinventing the wheel. You want to put a stop to information hoarding and share team knowledge across your business. You want to improve efficiency and accountability by taking the time to define your processes. And instead of putting things off, make it easy to get started on new projects. And finally, avoid miscommunications by making sure everyone is on the same page. A great place to get started and get inspired is the Redbooth template library. So take your time exploring the site to find one that suits your needs. And I've got my colleague here, Diana, who's actually moderating the Q&A panel. So she's going to be picking out some questions and reading them out to me.
Great. So we've got our first question. You're saying, we do so many things at our company and have so many processes. Where do I start?
Okay, that's a great question. So what I would do is recommend deciding which processes are going to have an immediate impact on your bottom line. So think about what's the most important. Maybe it's improving how new business is passed over to your sales team. Or maybe it's tracking project status if you're always going past your deadlines. So creating templates for those workflows are going to help your business grow and be more effective. And that way you'll be able to use your existing resources to be more productive and save time and effort. So what I recommend is starting there first, get those templates in place, and then you can move down the line in order of priority.
Great. So our next question is from a design agency. At my agency, we really like to take a personalized approach to each client. Are we going to jeopardize that if we set up all our processes in templates?
No, definitely not. As I mentioned before, every template is completely customizable. So you can add tasks, you can edit them, you can remove items that don't apply to your business. You can also reorganize tasks and move things around. So depending on what the order is that makes sense for your business, you can change everything to suit your needs. So you determine what you want the template to look like. Templates just help provide you with structure, but it's not set in stone. It's not rigid. You can always adapt them as your business changes and grows.
Okay, so we have one that is about using templates in Redbooth. Once you upload a template, is there a way that you can see the progress that people are making?
Yes, so absolutely. You can see which tasks have been resolved. You can see which tasks have been completed. And we have a reporting section where you can filter, based on the tasks that are still open, tasks that are past due, tasks that have been resolved. And you can filter them, by user, by project. So it's really easy to see how your work projects are coming along.
Okay, this one is a little tricky. What if my employees want to hoard their information because they think their value comes from being the only person who knows how to do something, and they're going to lose that if that information goes into a template and gets shared?
Okay, that's a great question. So I think resistance comes from an older way of doing things. So in the past, departments and offices were pretty siloed, so people are used to working in isolation and didn't necessarily have to share that knowledge. And now, in modern times, we've got teams spread out all over the globe. You've got remote workers, and I think more of the value comes from execution. And people execute better when they can collaborate easily across the organization. So if one person at the company has a certain skill and everybody needs to go through this one person, then that just becomes a bottleneck, and that is not scalable. So I think we need to reframe it as everyone in the organization is working together to make something happen, which is why it's important to share knowledge across the team. I think that's all the questions we have for today. Thanks everyone for taking the time to participate in today's webinar. I hope you'll use these tips to help your business scale. So thank you again and have a great day.